We're nearly at the end of March. We're 25% through the year already. And I want to ask you honestly, have a good look at yourself. How have you done this year so far? Are you tracking towards your goals of building your business? I've had a look at myself, and I think a lot of people need to have a look at themselves and see where they're at right now with getting to their goals. This is an opportunity to take a moment and just look and say, what am I doing good right now and what's stopping me? And what I'm noticing and what I'm focusing on is what is stopping me from getting towards my goals? What is blocking my time, and how do I need to use my time better? So in this video, the focus is simple. Understand what are the biggest blockers standing in your way right now towards getting to your goals and fixing it immediately. So I'll quickly go over what I did and what worked, and maybe I can help you guys with getting to your goals and just improving things a bit more. So as I mentioned before, the two main things that are blocking me is number one, sleep, and number two, it's phone addiction and technology addiction. Now, I needed to find ways to be able to block these bad habits as quickly as possible. So, with sleep, the biggest issue that I had and what I found was that often that it'd take time for me to get out of bed. The alarm would go off and I'd get my phone out and I'd scroll and just waste time. Now, traditionally, this would be anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour. I'm pretty bad getting out of bed. And I realized something really simple. This will add up quickly over years. Now, an hour for a day, for a year, that's 365 hours just like that. That's many days that are being added up over time, more than 10 days if we go over and over again. If I just can get out of bed and get moving, that just improves my time usage so much more. So I wanted to take action on it. I looked into what the simplest way was. And as simple as it was just simply adding friction, making it harder to get into those bad habits. So what I did was, as simple as it is, I just got my phone, I put it out of range from my bed. So when the alarm went off, I basically had to get up, get out of my bed and turn off the alarm. Now that extra step right there just made things a lot easier. And what I did was I'd have it near basically what the next task of the day was. So my alarm would go off, I'd turn off my alarm. Right there was my change of clothes. So instantly I can get started the day, change clothes, get ready, and get moving. So what I'm doing is I'm making it as easy as possible to be able to move through the day and as hard as possible to stay stagnant. That's called adding friction, and it's taught in Atomic Habits and a lot of other books. The other thing which was a big issue for me was technology. And I'm talking blockers and distractions, both on my computer and on my phone. Now, what I did and how I took action on this was very simple. Just make it impossible to be able to use it. And what I did was essentially I added blockers. I added cold turkey on my PC. That's a blocker, as well as be present on my phone. And what I've found is I've found dramatic improvement in my productivity. I noticed that my screen time is now below 3 hours per day, which for me, that's pretty good. I want to improve it and get it below 2 hours per day, but I'm going on the right track. And I'm finding consistently every day I'm pounding out good amount of work and my business is going the right way. So for everybody else, the idea is to be able to understand, number one, what are the three biggest blockers or leakages of time that is stopping you from achieving your goal. I want you to list it down on a piece of paper or on a notebook. You can list all the things that are currently causing blockers. Currently, for young men that are trying to build businesses, usually it's stuff like on your phone, pornography, poor sleep, and gaming, stuff like that. And guys, your 20s only happen once. These are the most important years of our life. I don't want you to underestimate how important this is, because my biggest fear, and I think it should be your fear as well, is when you hit 30 years old and you still haven't made progress. This is the years right now where we need to get working, where we need to get pushing, because I want to be set up. I don't want to be stressing about, how bad things are in the economy and just how shit things are. And that I have to rely on a 9 to 5 to be able to manage things. I want to be self-reliant and not worry about the world and all the issues that are going on right now, and just be able to say, I've got things under control. So think about it. So list it down. Get on note your 5 and biggest blockers. And basically, you want to filter it down to your 3 biggest blockers. And step 2 is you need to find a way to make it 10 times harder to be able to access these blockers. It's really simple and really easy. And I want to go through a few methods which work and the ones that I've personally used. For this example, I'm going to use your phone, social media, and all that, because that's common throughout all young men, and I just think people will stop. So there are a few different methods on how you can do it. Number 1 is you can block it completely. That's my favorite method because you're basically taking the choice element out of it. And it means you're forced to no longer go on your phone. Now, the simplest way to do that is to install a blocker on your phone. So to give you a few ideas, I use an app called Be Present. It's a paid app. I pay for it yearly, and essentially what it does is it means I'm only allowed on Instagram X amount of times per day. I'm not allowed on it at all through a certain time of day. So from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 p.m. in the afternoon, not allowed on it at all. And I've got no access to it, as well as a few other apps. And it means I've got no choice. As well as that, I also use Cold Turkey on my computer. It's a really good one. But what you need to do with any kind of bad habit, like your phone, is can you make it impossible to use it by adding some kind of technology blocker? And this can be on your computer, this can be on gaming, this can be on anything you want. This takes the choice element out of it. And I think with any kind of bad habit, you need to think about how you can use technology to your advantage, because technology can be very addictive, but now there's really cool ways to use technology to stop you from doing it as well. Number 2 is you just want to make it harder to access. That's called adding friction to it. So by making it harder to access, you're talking about it more on a physical level. So let's say for our phone, what we can do is we can keep it out of our room. So it's not even there when we think about it. We can also turn off notifications. That's another one which is really good, which I use. And when I turn off my notifications, basically I can only receive notifications from my favorites in my contacts. So only family members can call me. And that's the only time I'll pick up my phone in case there's some kind of emergency. The other thing you can do is I add this thing called, you turn off rise to wake, which basically means when you move your phone, it doesn't light up. Because the dopamine hit that just happens from phones is ridiculous. So if you can make it physically harder to access, that will help you a lot. It means there's no longer a thought in your mind about using your phone because it's not there physically. Number 3, you want to remove the reward of using your phone. And that's the dopamine hit of it. I guess that partially comes back to notifications and all the dopamine hits that come from that. But you can do a few things there. Some of them I haven't tried yet, but it's a thought. You can add grayscale to your phone, which basically means all the colors and all the dopamine hit of it is gone. You can turn off notifications. You can just remove bright noises or any kind of visual triggers. But by doing this, it means that reward element of your phone is gone. It's now boring. It's not my favorite one to use. The first 2 I prefer, which is basically keeping it out physically or adding some kind of blocker. But if you've got no choice, you need to keep your phone nearby you due to work elements and there's just no choice and you need to have it there, that's the option I would go towards. But for me personally, the first 2 are the best options. But at the end of the day, this whole thing comes back to one major thing. It's not about money. It's not about skills. Not about anything. It's about your time. And that's why I'm making this whole video. You got to understand how precious your time is right now in your 20s. And every single distraction we talked about, whether it's sleep, gaming, porn, anything like that, bad diet, these things add up over time. And it's a compounding effect in a negative way. And you need to be able to understand it. I want you to just do some math with me right now. Let's consider you waste 3 hours every day just doing poor habits. 3 hours every day adds up to 21 hours per week. 21 hours times 52 is 1,092 hours. 1,092 hours is 45 and a half days per year. That's a month and a half wasted on bullcrap. I want you to understand the impact of the mistakes you're making right now. And I want you to take immediate action right now. The point of this video is simple. We're still early in the year. We've barely hit 25%, but the year goes quick. And if you don't take action on this stuff right now, you're going to lose another year, another opportunity to take action and get moving with life. I don't want people falling behind anymore. And that's why I've taken action, and that's why I've put this video together, because it's been a big realization these last 2 weeks that I've improved my productivity massively just by understanding what's stopping me the most and putting ruthless blockers in the way and taking the element out of it completely. So I want people to take action and just follow those 2 steps for me. Number 1, just block. Add the 3 biggest blockers right now in your life that are stopping you from achieving your goals. I want you to sit there, put on a piece of paper and understand what they are. And number 2, find a way to reduce the access at all costs. Either add a physical friction to it, which makes it really hard to use, or add a technology blocker which forces it to no longer be able to be used. It's as simple as that. Don't overcomplicate it. You don't need any new strategy. There's no scientific method you need. You don't need to meditate, and you don't need to get too overcomplicated with it anymore, guys. You just need to take action. You need to take it immediately. This video is simple, and I just want people to achieve their goals. If you want to join me, and if you're in the process of building a business right now from 0 to 10K, and you're in this journey right now, you're in your 20s, and you're trying to build financial freedom, I ask you to join me on this journey, subscribe to my channel, and hopefully I can help you along in your journey, and you can see what I'm doing to be able to achieve building a new business. I hope you enjoyed this video.